Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Retrograde Entropy, and I got a little bit of a cough today. I don't think it's from casting, I think it's from all the talking I did yesterday, because I spent ages talking to the doctor, I spent ages talking to the active health person. Yeah, so that may have been why. But anyway, all that's done, and lots of lots of pretty exciting news. Well, some of it not so exciting, some of it exciting. So I went to the doctor, asked him about the blood test. Most of it's going to get covered, like the normal stuff. But there was some tests that my naturopath wanted that the doctor wouldn't cover unless, sorry, the video's going up again. Unless he actually had evidence that I needed them. And of course, since I haven't seen him for 2 years, I've just been going to my naturopath. He didn't really know about a lot of that stuff. So anyway, a lot of the tests that my naturopath wanted are not going to get done, but she definitely wants one of them done. So I gave her an email and she's going to send me an extra form, which is out of pocket, like $50 to get some zinc test done on my blood. But yeah, $50, whatever. It's, in the grand scheme of things, it's fine. So that's the blood test. Doctor didn't need to give me a referral for the optometrist. He said just rock up and see how it goes. So I'm going to do that this afternoon. I got an appointment for an optometrist, which he recommended, which was great. And the other thing was the neurofeedback. Naturopath wanted me to get a mental health plan, which the doctor wouldn't give me because he has no proof that I got Asperger's. Which is fair enough. I mean, he hasn't seen me for 2 years, and I've never really discussed having Asperger's with him. So if I just show up and I was like, hey, I got Asperger's, give me a mental health plan, and he has no idea, then yeah, he can't do that. Which is fair enough. So I'm going to message I've already messaged the neurofeedback people, asking them how much it is without a plan. And hopefully it's just like a few $100s or something like that, which I can do, which should be fine. If it's in the thousands, then might have to reevaluate, because that's just one of a number of avenues that might fix it. So I don't want to dive down that path. It's going to be a few grand if there's only potential for fixing it. It's a good potential, but anyway. So that was the doctor. He was pretty all right, some levels, but whatever. And I went to see Active Health as well. And this time was a much better. I think my approach was better, and I'm not going to say the doctor, the practitioner was better, because the guy last time was okay, but he was trying to do things the normal way, and I was just like, give me information now, didn't want to go through the normal way. So what I did this time was I just said, look, I'm going to talk for like half an hour, and then I told him everything I knew. So I gave him every single bit of information I knew about my history, about my diagnosis, about how I've been recovering, about how I've been looking after myself, about what the naturopath is telling me. So after about half an hour, he basically knew everything that I knew, and he knew that I knew it. So he didn't sort of start from the basics. Occasionally he did. He went to some stuff that I already knew, and I just said, look, I already know that. Let's continue. And he sort of took my word for it, which was really, really great. Now, he did give me some very good info. So I could sort of repeat it here, but basically he said that I'm trying to remember the acronym he gave me, the example, but he said that dealing with chronic fatigue is like a house. It's got a foundation, and then it's got 4 walls, and the walls are, I can't remember exactly, but the walls are sleep, stress, diet, and one other one, which I'm just going to say is activity. Yeah, sleep, stress, diet, and activity, I guess. So we talked a bit about activity. He told me about this red light, yellow light, green light. So basically, green light is you're fine, you're completely okay. Orange light is where you're starting to do something which is starting to make you a little bit tired. And then red light is you're going over the edge. So he talked about you can't just stay in green forever. You got to idle between green and orange or green and yellow, and then when you go back into yellow, you go back into green, and when you've been in green for too long, you go into yellow. Which is kind of what I was saying in my 50-minute video a couple of weeks ago, where you can't just leave the activity level at 0. You've got to do something, but you obviously got to recognize when you're doing too much and go back. So it's nice to have him sort of line up with that sort of stuff, which is really, really good. So the other two, like diet, stress, and sleep. Stress is taken care of. Sleep is taken care of. Diet is pretty much taken care of. I have a feeling that the mince may have gone bad. I don't know. I made it exactly the same this week, but yesterday, the day before, I ate it and it made me feel a little bit crook. I didn't get a chance to eat it yesterday because I was running around too much. But yeah, that's fine. I'm going to eat it today. If it gives me problems, then I'm going to buy a roast chicken and that'll set me out for the rest of the week. Because I've got to go out anyway for the optometrist this afternoon, so I can go past Coles and do that as well. So I'll go actually, and I'll pull up the things he told me, because he didn't focus at all on diet, because I said it was fine, so that was good. He did focus on my light sensitivity. He's got this theory, which the naturopath didn't give me, which is that it's got to do with blood pressure. But not something you can measure. Like, you put the thing around your arm and you measure your blood pressure, and he said that was fine, but something about the contents of the blood, which is maybe also causing my orthostatic intolerance, where I stand up and I get really tired. He thinks that's related to the blood pressure as well. So he's got me doing a few things. I just got a beep. Why is there a beep? I don't know. Maybe it's my phone. So anyway, there's 3 things he wants me to do. First is up my salt. Get a lot more salt in every day, like 3,000 milligrams. Now, this is not me telling you how to fix yourself. This is me telling everybody what he told me to do. So don't just say, oh, I've got light sensitivity, I'm going to do this as well, because it may be something completely different. Like, there's so many different possible reasons for my light sensitivity. This is one of them, but this does make a lot of sense because I do have orthostatic intolerance, which is, he says it's blood pressure related, and I do have a couple of other problems which might be blood pressure related. Like, I used to get, like, I got fidgeting and restless leg syndrome a little bit. You can sometimes see that the camera will be shaking because my legs bang on the underside of the desk while I'm casting. On my video game videos anyway, maybe not so much these ones, but yeah. And I also got this thing where sometimes in the middle of the night while I'm waking up, my muscles will kind of slide off the bone. That sounds a bit weird, but they'll sort of slide a little bit and it hurts like hell. And I told him about that and he said, yeah, that's probably a blood pressure. It's like hypermobility is what he told me as well. So yeah, if you know what that is, then maybe that's helpful. But anyway, so what he told me to do to help my blood pressure, which may help my light sensitivity, is have more salt, 3,000 milligrams a day, drink at least 1.5 liters, but 2 liters of water per day is good, and compression leggings. Get some leggings that actually compress on your skin, on your legs, and that apparently helps. And also working out my legs, so actually strengthening them up, because I haven't really been doing that. I've been walking, but I haven't been working out, doing workouts on my legs. So I might start doing that again, because I did that like a couple of years ago when I first got the weights machine. I was actually starting to build up muscle, not just fitness, but yeah, I can do a couple of those. There's 4 parts of your leg, 2 on the lower, 2 on the upper, so I'll figure out some exercises for those. Apparently squats work really well or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And he did confirm as well what I was thinking, in that hiding from the sun actually makes you more sensitive to the sun. So I'm supposed to be doing 1 walk early in the morning before the sun rises, and then 1 walk at 7 p.m. when the sun is going down, but not completely down. So that'll give me a little bit of light every day, sort of maybe build up a tolerance to it, something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. And also, this is a Wahoo. It is a heart rate measurement thing. So I have that on every time I go for a walk, and I measure my heart rate. Yeah, I've actually got a post-it note, I think, over here. Yeah, this is from back in the day, or like a few months ago. I got some sort of CFS article I was reading about exercise, and it was saying something like, don't let your heart rate go over this level. And apparently it's 110. So, yeah, I don't know. But my heart rate stays approximately 100 on the way. So I walk somewhere and then I walk back. My heart rate stays at about 100 on the way there, and on the way back it stays at about 110, a little bit over. So I'm currently actually going over this stupid max heart rate thing, but I feel okay. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that article. It's pretty good. There's some sort of formula where you calculate your heart rate based on your height and your weight and your age and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see. But anyway, I got another appointment with the active health guy in 3 or 4 weeks. So at that point, I'll give him all the heart rate information, which he asked me to do. So I'm going to do that. And then we'll see. But for now, I'm going to try very hard not to get too much above 110. So it's just about walking slower. Not because I have a tendency to walk fast. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to walk a bit slower. And it's actually good having the heart monitor because it sort of helps me to pace myself, I guess. Oh, and I have been walking a little bit further since last night because I told him I was doing 10-minute workouts, and apparently I was doing 8-minute workouts because I wasn't going far enough. So now instead of just reaching the edge of the primary school, I keep walking to the far end of the primary school, and that puts me about 11-minute workout total, which is good, which is exactly what I want. And it doesn't tire me out at all, so it's fine. So I did that last night, did that this morning. The Wahoo fitness meter Bluetooth is working beautifully once I unpaired it from my old phone and reset it, because Bluetooth pairing is a pain in the ass. Once you pair it to one device, you can't pair it to another device without it going haywire all over the place. So you got to unpair it from the other device, and you got to manually reset it, and then you're good. I still have my old phone lying around because I just do. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. So I got the optometrist, and then I might buy some more bottles because these are about just over 1 litre, and I buy about 10 of them a week. But if I've got to do 2 litres a day, I need 14 of them. So I'm not going to buy 14 at the supermarket because that's a lot. But I mean, I might go out in the middle of some days and just buy a ton. So I'll go down to Coles. I'll buy a crap load today. I don't think they really have a use-by date. Or if they have a use-by date, it's not going to be anytime soon. It's probably going to be like a year, maybe a few months. I'll go through them very quickly. So, yeah, that should not be a problem. So getting through that. And then I just got to work on stuff. So when I cook next week, I'm going to put a crap ton of salt over all my meals. Just dump it on. Dump it on the chips maybe. Although I don't usually eat all of my chips, but I'll just dump it on in the meals. See how we go. And yeah, get my water up, buy some of those leggings, start working out my legs in the morning. See how it goes, because if this blood pressure thing does help with my light sensitivity, then that would be fantastic. And I won't have to, well, it'll take a little while to do the, to figure out if it works or not. Probably a week or 2 at least, but yeah, that would be very nice because that's a natural way of fixing it, as opposed to pills, which would suck, or the neurofeedback, which is potentially expensive, but still might be a better. So it's neurofeedback and the blood pressure, because neurofeedback is focused on Asperger's, and Asperger's definitely has a light sensitivity component to it. So maybe both of them would help. The optometrist, the active health guy said, no, the optometrist probably won't find anything. And I tend to agree. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to see them. Maybe they'll send me to a specialist. Maybe they won't. But if they don't find anything and they said, oh, there's nothing wrong, there's no need to go to a specialist, then I'm just going to be like, okay, well, that avenue's closed down. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So today, just going to be more relaxing, and then optometrist and potentially shopping later on. And I might do something about my beard as well, while I'm over there, because the optometrist is in the same shopping centre as the barber. So might skip over to the barber if they're still open after I've finished with the optometrist, and get a bit of a shave. Get it nice. Maybe nice and short. It's starting to get annoying if I have them do it to like a 3. So maybe I'll have them do it to like a 2, maybe even a 1. I don't know. 1 is really short, but then again, it gives me more time for it to grow out. So it's longer before I need to have the next one. And yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, as long as you're not shaving it off, you're not really... Look, beard management, it's all about making sure there's as many hairs as possible coming out. The more hairs, the better it looks. Now, the length of the hair is something completely different. If the length is really long, then it looks scraggly. But if you've just got... That's why it takes so long to get a really good beard, because when you start off, you just got little hairs everywhere, and if they're really long, it looks really stupid. So you got to shave it down. You got to let as many hairs grow as possible. So shaving it down to a number 1 is not going to destroy it at all. It's going to be fine. So maybe I'll do a number 1. I don't know. Maybe a number 2. Maybe 2 is kind of a midpoint between what I usually get and the bare minimum. So anyway, has been that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow.